Okay, guys, we are live. We're going to unpick the shambolic display at Old Trafford last night where Liverpool lost by 2-1. It wasn't the result we wanted. It wasn't even about the result. It was actually the performance, which really fucked me off. The performance was as bad as I have seen in a big game like that. Don't get me wrong, we haven't been good this season. 2 draws. The Fulham was shambolic all over the shop. We're lucky to get a draw there, to be fair. The Palace was a little bit better, but still wasn't great. It still was not great. Okay, Nunez got sent off and we got the draw. But last night, talk about it. Hit the like, hit the share, get people in. Wow. I'm going to try to keep calm, keep cool as much as I can. Henry Ray Parker is in the house. Hopefully you are well. Hard to unpick so much crap, a bit like Edinburgh streets. Edinburgh streets are lovely, actually. Really nice, Edinburgh. I like Edinburgh, and the streets are usually very clean. But simply not good enough, Fab. Should have started, says Hanad. Look, there's going to be a lot we're going to chat about. We're going to try pile it into about 20 minutes or half an hour, but it's going to be hard. I mean, there's the keita situation as well. I mean, what's going on there? Did he get injured reading the intensity book, drop it on his foot? Or did he get injured playing Monopoly? Did he get a paper cut? Or is he really injured? Who knows? I don't know. I don't think he's injured. I think there's something else going on behind the scenes, which is even more worrying. But the performance, it lacked intensity. They didn't read Pep Linder's book. That's the problem for me. They just did not read it. They're there with the photographs with it, but didn't read it. There was no intensity. There was no creativity. There was no fluidity. And there was absolutely no heart, which is a very unusual thing to say about Klopp's Liverpool teams over the last 3 or 4 years. It's really unusual to say. But that's what it was last night. There was no fight. There was absolutely no fight. Okay, when it went 2-1, Salah with the header, with about 8 minutes to go, and there was a bit of injury time, but we never really looked like scoring, did we? A few half chances and stuff like that. I mean, Man United played well. I mean, they're a young, youthful side. Home crown didn't walk out. That's a surprise. That the protest wasn't a protest. If they would have been losing, I'd say they would have been a protest. I mean, it's flip-flop fans, really, to be fair. So United played well. I'm not going to take it away from them. They were quicker to the ball, faster to the ball, hungrier, wanted it more, wanted to win more, and fair play to them. But that's a poor United team. We made them look good. We made United look good. And that's what makes me really mad. We made a shit team look good. Gary Richards, how are you, my friend? What a shower of shite, says Gary. Absolute shower of shite. Anad, ruined my whole Tuesday. This slept at 3 o'clock today, says Anad. Guys, it's amazing how much your mind, your body clock, your build up, especially when you're doing YouTube, or even when you're not doing YouTube and you're a fan of a big game like it is at Old Trafford. It will be at Anfield when we play them. United aren't the team they used to be, but it's still a big game, isn't it? I mean, it's such a big game. Sky Sports had an hour and a half preview before the bloody game kicked off. I mean, that rarely happens on a Monday night football game. But, I mean, there's so much to unpick, guys, and I am not a happy camper, but, I'm sure we'll get better. There is injuries. Of course, there's injuries. Nunez, silly, getting sent off a 3-match ban for that's absolutely silly. We could have done with him last night. Could have done with Thiago in midfield, and certainly could have done with Matip at centre-half beside Van Dijk, because Van Dijk does not look like the Van Dijk unless Matip is beside him. That's as simple as that. I mean, Van Dijk was rocky again last night. Robertson was poor. It's as bad as I've seen Robertson ever play. Trent was really poor. Gomez, it was a tough game for him to come back in, I'm sure. Alisson was okay. Can't really blame him for the 2 goals. If you go into the midfield, I mean, Henderson, club captain, it wasn't the captain's display. Let's be real. Fabinho should have started. He was on the bench, came on, but he hadn't played well in the last 2. But in a big game like that, Elliott and Milner, Henderson, I think the midfield was wrong. Milner's 72 at this stage. I mean, he's Milli Vanilli. He's Benjamin Button. He wins all the lactate tests. He does this and everything. But to start in big games, I mean, Milner for me is more of a 20, 25-minute man just to shore things up. He's certainly not a starter. He shouldn't be a starter at his age. I can't blame Milner. He run all day. Keita being injured, we'll talk about that. Elliott, only real shining light, you would say. Harvey Elliott did well, did all he could do. at least looked like he wanted something out of the game, at least looked like he had a bit of fight in him, gave us something going forward, wanted the ball, went by players. I mean, Harvey is the only one really to come out of this game with any sort of thing. Even when Carvalho came on, he did a lot as well. But up front, Salah didn't really get the ball, was smothered. I know he got a goal, but just didn't get into the game as much. I mean, he scored a hat-trick against them last year. I mean, he's a really good record. I think he now has 10 goals against United. I think he beat the Stevie G record of 9 with that goal last night. Diaz, yeah, in spaces, in little bits, was decent, had 1 or 2 really good chances, looked dangerous at times, but just not enough. And then Bobby Firmino, he's not a striker. He's not a number 9. I mean, Bobby was thrown in the deep end as well. Him and Milner. I mean, with so many injuries, I would have played Carvalho. I really would have played Carvalho. I think that was a mistake. Bobby is another 20-minute man. He's good at coming on 20, 25, but starter, no. We have injuries. I know. I was looking at that bench last night going, wow, 3 or 4 young lads on there. We 2 goalkeepers there, the 5 club sub rule, which we've all been dreaming about, because when everyone's fit, it looks good. And when everyone's injured, it doesn't look good, So a lot to unpack. Yeah, big game of Bournemouth the weekend at Anfield. It's a must win. It is an absolute must win. North Red, although limited because of bloody injuries, I feel our team selection has been wrong. We're making so many fundamental mistakes. It's unforgivable. We could have ended them last night. Yeah, I mean, we had chances last night. We were scuffing at the ball and we were, okay, 1 or 2 cleared off the line and stuff like that. And we were really poor. We were like 4 or 5 out of 10. And we still could have got something out of that game. That's so bad United are. I mean, we made them look good. That's what has me sick. We made a poor team look good. I mean, they'll probably get better with Casemiro and maybe Anthony or whoever's coming in. But I think, is someone coming in for us? I heard some hint today about Klopp. I mean, Klopp's hinted at it last week, saying he's not the man in charge. He's not the man with the money. There's certain things that Klopp has said in the last 2 or 3 interviews, which you can see the frustration. I've never seen him say the things he said in the last 2 or 3. Even last night, he said he was a bit worried. The situation is worrying. And 2 points out of a possible 9, 2 draws, 1 loss out of the first 3 games is not good. Is the league over? City, they've 7 points. We'd have to beat City twice. We really would. We'd have to beat Bournemouth on Saturday. I'm not even thinking about the league. It's more top 4, really. Champions League draws on Thursday, but look, lads, it's not all doom and gloom. It is not all doom and gloom by any stretch. We're in the Champions League still. I have a feeling, I'm just going to throw this out here, because of our injury issues, I think Klopp will definitely go weak in the League Cup. He'll definitely go probably weak in the FA Cups. We've won both last year, and we're champions of both, but I don't think there's going to be a really strong defense of both of them. I really don't think so. I think he's going to have to try get points on the board in the Premier League and try do something in the Champions League. I think he's going to, what he did do for the first 3 or 4 or 5 years when he came in, he didn't really show much, I don't know whether you want to call it respect or much, for the League Cup and FA Cup. We won them last year. We've been there. We've done that. The FA Cup maybe in January might be different, but the League Cup definitely, I don't think he's going to go strong in that. And when we play it next month, I think we've got to get points on the board. Bournemouth at Anfield. To say that's a must-win game 4 games in is just telling the story, really, isn't it? So, guys, hit the like, hit the share. Let's get a few people in. Ralagor, what is going on behind the scenes? Something is off. No energy. Feels odd, says Ralagor. Yes, it is odd. I don't know what's going on, but there is certainly something going on. Maybe it's Naby Keita injury, non-injury, playing Monopoly at midnight. I don't know. Get out of jail free cards. Don't know what's going on, but it's certainly not good. As we said earlier, there's no intensity, but there's no heart. There's no fight. There's no press. And Liverpool under Klopp is built on press. It's built on energy. It's built on drinking Red Bull. It's, Red Bull gives you wins. That's what it's built on. And we don't have any of that. That's what's so surprising for me. That is what is so surprising for me. Matt Fisher, how are you, Matt? Hope you're well. Must win the weekend. But we can also score first. Yeah. 6, 7 games in a row now. We've let in a goal, and it's a mountain to climb. It throws all your plans out the window. But then again, our plan should be that we're going to let in first. We're going to let in the goal first, because that's what we've done. in the last 7 games. So in a way, we should be planning for letting in a bloody goal and then trying to come back. But it just makes it hard. You need at least 2 to win. You're on the back foot. The home crowd is up. If we would have scored yesterday early against United, they might have folded. The crowd would have got on their back, or maybe the crowd would have walked out. Who knows? So it's just, I mean, all football managers, top managers and players know, professional players, when you go, especially away from home, you want to shut the crowd up, first 10, 15. You want to get on the front foot. You want to try to get an early goal to set the tempo. None of that happened yesterday. The exact opposite. That first goal was where I haven't seen it yet perform. Yeah, that's since the 90s. It was a real throwback. I haven't seen as many United tops in years. Well, look, United are still shite. Let's be real. I mean, they're going to still find it hard to get into the top 4 because, I mean, we're going to find it. We got to get our act together because, okay, City, they're going to be the team to catch. Chelsea are going through a bit of a rough patch. Will they go through a rough patch all the time? I don't think so. United, will they be a rough patch? Casemiro, maybe 1 or 2 other players coming in. You've Arsenal on a high at the moment. You Spurs on a high at the moment. So it is going to be tough. And the only thing that can make us get better and bring energy and confidence is wins and goals. That's the only thing. League ain't over. City will drop more points than we all think, says Dave Savage. Yeah, I'm not saying anything's up. I'm not throwing in any tail just yet. I'm in 3 games in, guys. There's a lot of football to play. There's a World Cup in the winter, which will really throw a spanner in the works. I mean, who knows? Other teams might get injuries to key players. No, but we've given ourselves a mountain after 3 games. That's all I'm saying. We've given ourselves a mountain. I mean, we've done shows. I think the preseason was a mistake. If you want to be honest to me, a 63 match season last year. We've played every single game. We are out on our feet. I mean, even in the Champions League final, we looked tired. We looked tired against Wolves in the last league game. We won the League Cup. We won the FA Cup. Got to the Champions League final. Played every game. Almost a quadruple. The City games goes our ways. Villa winning 2-0. So that 63 match intense madness that went on, I think, has taken a toll on the players. The likes of Van Dijk, the likes of Robertson, the likes of Trent, the likes of Henderson, these players, it has really taken a toll. So I am absolutely sure, because I know Klopp does not like Far East, traveling to Bangkok and Singapore and all these weather zones and the weather and the temperature and the humidity and then playing. I'm sure he would have loved him just to stay in England and play maybe 3 or 4 games, something similar. I know City went to America, but I think they only played 3 games, something like that, and just eased into it. Gave the players a longer break. Maybe I'm wrong. Another thing I was thinking about today, the press. Klopp likes his players. They're like athletes now. They are like athletes now. Their muscles, their sinews, they're so tight. They're so... one little mistake and it's snap, one little mistake and there's an injury. Maybe the training we're doing, it's too intense. Double training sessions, triple training sessions. Maybe it's that, I don't know, but we have got success up to now doing that. So what do you do? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys. We needed 2 players, never mind signing Bellingham. This is a joke. We have a huge club, aren't Leicester or Villa. We are huge enough to plan this model the way we do things. Craps is not right. Well, yeah, the Bellingham thing I can't see happening. It might never happen. I mean, someone like Madrid or something could come in from next year and that's it. So can I see somebody coming in now? I think we're going to be forced to bring in someone in now because of the injuries. I mean, Naby here today could be out for a few weeks playing Monopoly. You know what I mean? And even the likes of Thiago, when we missed him badly in the midfield yesterday, when he comes back, there's no guarantee he's going to stay fit. He's always has that niggle. Gomez has that niggle. Matip has that niggle. We're lucky Mo Salah doesn't have those niggles. Touch wood. We're really lucky he stays fit. Oxlade-Chamberlain, I mean, just him and Naby are just, cursed with injuries. Jota's another one. I would have loved Jota. Even Jota last 20 yesterday, or when you go 2-0 down, similar to what United think, to bring Martial on at half-time. I think we needed something at half-time yesterday. That team in the first half were devoid of ideas. I know the Klopp can do the hairdryer treatment at half-time and say, right, you have 10, 15 minutes here, or I'm making the changes. But I didn't see enough in that 45 to think there was going to be changes with that same team coming out. So I would have definitely made substitutes. We hadn't got a huge amount on the bench. I would have brought Fab on straight away for maybe Hendo and then Carvalho on for Milner. Straight away. We had nothing to lose. We had nothing to lose. I know it was only 1-0 at half time, but second half was more of the same. We only woke up a bit when they went 2-0 up. It's just, I don't know. There's the Van Dijk question as well. Best centre half in the world. He has been. It was 1 or 2 games last season as well. When Matip is beside him, it's just more confident. Maybe he's worried with Gomez and someone else beside him, but he didn't look right. He has not looked right in the last 3 games either, and that's worrying for Van Dijk. Hasn't looked his imperious self. Robertson as well. Should Tsimikas play the weekend? I think Robbo needs a rest. Take him out of the firing line against Bournemouth. Play Tsimikas. Tsimikas has done nothing wrong. He's back from injury now. He'll give you something different. The only problem is Trent. You could possibly say Trent should come out and rest as well, but Calvin Ramsey's injured. The guy we brought in as understood, he's injured. So this is just an injury rant here. So we're sort of scuppered in what we can do and what we can't do against Bournemouth, but it is a must win. It's an absolute must win. Dave, I was speaking to my brother-in-law. He doesn't know about football. He was giving us loads and said it's harsh because of injuries. He sat me down by saying, don't they plan for injuries? Yeah, of course. Yeah, they do. But do you plan for 10, 11 injuries? The 2021 season, we all know about that. What happened, those 6 games at Anfield, the losses, the Alisson header that got us out of the fire. We eventually finished third. I don't know how we finished third that season, but it's reminding me of that. The only good thing is it's early. There's still a window open. Will they do something? Will they stick? Will they twist? The more the way it's going, and that Naby news today, I think they've no choice but to buy somebody. They really have no choice. But is it a forced buy now? Is it a panic buy rather than something they planned for? That's my only problem. They might be going for the person they originally wanted, I couldn't give him an answer, he said. I think it's a lot of things. As I just said, I think it's a 63-game season last year catching up on them. It was the long pre-season catching up on them. It's the injuries. It's the tiredness. It's drop off of form. It's as simple as that. At the top players, like it's captain, Henderson, Van Dijk, Trent, Robbo, even Fabinho, these type players dropping. Nunes not there. The new man giving us hope, giving us confidence. Not there. 3-match ban, his own problem. Jota not there. Something different off the bench. Then you're relying on Milner. Then you're relying on Bobby. Should we be relying on Milner? Should we be relying on Bobby in big away games like that? Probably not. But that's the situation we're in, guys. Helen says, I think we need 5 players in total. I'm not going to get 5 players. When's the window close? 1st of September, I think. It's a 23rd. A week. There's a week left in the window. So, I could see someone coming in, but I don't know. If we would have treated the FA Cup as we usually do, we could have been fresh for Champions League final. We made the wrong decision pursuing that FA Cup. Well, see, look, people have given out the club for years for disrespecting, not playing strong teams in the League Cup, not playing strong teams in the FA Cup. We did to an extent in the League Cup. We almost got caught against Leicester in the quarters, remember? We were 3-1 down. We brought a few players on. Taki did the job. We could have easily went out there. We were lucky in 1 or 2 games in the FA Cup. So, yeah, I think the longer you go in it, quarter, semis, then you start playing stronger teams. But I just think the squad we have, the injuries, the way the World Cup's fallen and stuff, I don't think he'll go strong. I really don't think I don't think he can go strong in the League Cup. Just because the way it is. And we have the 2 of them in the bag. So I don't know whether he should go strong. I think we should concentrate. It's going to be top 4. It's going to be priority number 1 is always get back into the top 4, get back into the Champions League. I'd like a nice Champions League run. So I think they're the 2 priorities. I just really do. But number 1 priority is getting players to play against Bournemouth on Saturday and get the bloody win. And whoever's going to Anfield just got to get behind the team. They need our support right now. They need our support now. I'm not going to moan about injuries anymore. We know we've injuries. Even moan about someone coming in. We have what we have. If someone comes in, great. If it doesn't, we just got to go with it. Naby's got bed sores at this point from lying on the treatment table 6 days a week. It's just... And people are talking about, sell Naby, sell Ox. Who's going to buy them? With those injury records, the wages those guys are on, Who in their right mind would buy them? Let's be real, guys. Come on. It's not going to happen. I mean, okay, I think Naby, we needed him last night. That would probably have suited him. That energy in midfield would have gave us something different in midfield last night instead of having to throw Milner in there. But it is the way it is, guys. It is the way it is. And it's frustrating. I mean, I was looking forward to the new season. I was ready to rock. Really, new signings coming in. There was Carvalho there. Young Ramsey came in. Then Nunez, bang, blew us all away. We're looking at the team. We're going, right, Thiago. Listen, don't get me wrong. When we've that starting 11, probably best starting 11 when everybody is fit would be arguably Alisson, Matip, Van Dijk, Trent, Robbo, Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago, Mo, Diaz, and Nunez. I mean, I think that would be the 11. When that 11 is fit and raring to go on the pitch and confident, it can beat anybody. It's the bench that could be the issue. It really could be the issue. Especially with the 5 sub rule, and you can change it so much. I mean, you were looking at the bench last night. United could bring on a few players. Ronaldo was on the bench for them. Martial was on the bench for them. This type of thing. So we got to get our players back. I mean, obviously, Jota, I don't think is available for the weekend. So we got to go with Mo, Diaz. I'd play Carvalho. I really would. I'd go Carvalho, Mo, Diaz. The midfield, Elliott's got to play in midfield again because he has done nothing wrong. He's probably been our best player in the 3 games. You've got to start Fabinho. Henderson has to come good at some stage. And the back 4, I mean, it's got to be Gomez. It's got to be Van Dijk. And it's got to be Trent and possibly Tsimikas. I think Tsimikas has got to start with Alisson. I think that would be the 11 for the weekend. I thought there'd be much more choice than that. Unless someone comes in, in the next 2 or 3 days and is available, or Jota all of a sudden becomes available. But as of now, I don't think so. Curtis is another one who's injured, who we've missed. And he seems to, for a young lad, seems to be getting a few niggles, which is not a good sign for going forward, is it? I mean, look, it's frustrating. It really is. And nothing worse than losing to those absolute cunts, Man United. I mean, they're our biggest... Okay, City are the rivals because it's the way it's been tight with leagues and stuff. But United, fans-wise, is probably the rivals. And it's the one game you want to turn up for. It's the one. We've done it, to be fair, in the last few seasons. 9-0 on aggregate, 5-0, 4-0 last year. Yes, absolutely brilliant. But the fight, the players must know they've got to put in a shift, that they're going to be ripped to shreds at full time. They're going to be ripped. They're going to be, with the badge and stuff like that, playing for the badge. But it just wasn't there, guys. It wasn't there. And I want to see a big, big improvement against Bournemouth because we're going to need it. Bournemouth won't lie over either. They'll probably say it's a great time to be playing Liverpool. What a great time to be playing Liverpool. And if they score first, Anfield will just go, shh, so Naby, Curtis, Ox. I mean, Adrian would have been sold if Keller was fit. Keller is another one who's injured. Going down like dominoes, baby. I don't even know what you did, my friend. Alex is in the Anfield. Hopefully you're well. I mean, who's going to the game on Saturday? Bournemouth. Liverpool, Bournemouth. I mean, it's a must win. It is a must win. I take 1-0 now. Just get the points on the board. Get the confidence. I think we've Newcastle after that. We got to go again. Just got to get the wins. Absolutely. Just get the wins. I mean, even goals. I mean, Salah, okay, followed up Carvalho. Carvalho will give us something different. I think, his shot was saved by De Gea and Salah nodded it in. But even up front, we don't look like we're going to, I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't know what. Maybe we need 2 players, never mind one, an attacking midfielder and a holding midfielder, maybe. I just can't see it. I mean, I just cannot see it. I don't know what you're apologising for, but something must have happened from Anfield Park. Alan is in. Could we bring in a midfielder on loan, says Alan. I mean, we did a master stroke a few years ago. I'm showing my age, but when we brought Gary McAllister in, I mean, what a signing he was on free, I think, at the time. What, something like that. Experience, being there, international, done that. Gives you something in the midfield. But FSG don't usually do that type of thing. We don't usually do that. I think we might have to be forced into doing something like that. We might actually be forced into doing some sort of a loan deal or a swap deal or something like that. Barella and Bellingham are just not going to happen. I mean, Barella, I don't even know, if he's even on the radar. Bellingham's on the radar, but the money is on the radar. And plus, here's another big issue for Liverpool. Everybody knows they're going to be desperate now in the next week. Transfer window closes in a week. So if you're looking for my player, you're going to pay a premium. You're going to pay another 10, 15% on top of what we are asking. So if it's 100 million, it's 115 million now because we know you want them. And we know you'll pay almost anything to get them. So premium goes up because they know Liverpool need players. That's another issue, I'm genuinely torn. I'm so grateful for everything these lads have done for us. So it's hard for me to criticize, but this form is terrifying. Yeah, listen, I don't want to be too harsh on them. As I said to you earlier, there is a lot of things coming together. It's not just injury to key players and suspensions like the Darwin Núñez suspension, the silly suspension. I think it's the long season last year. It's relying on the same key spine, and it's also the preseason. I think took it out of him. It really did take it out of him, So there's a lot of things happening at once, I think, in the jigsaw puzzle. It's basically you've done the jigsaw puzzle, one of these big 500, piece jigsaw puzzles, and you can't find the bloody final piece. It's almost done. 499. Where's the bloody piece? I mean, when, as I say, when everybody's fit and raring to go, we're ready to rock. We look good. I mean, I was confident 3 weeks ago just before the Fulham game. I was saying, looking at the fixture, saying, okay, Fulham away, tricky, but we'll beat them. Palace home, that's a home win. United away, they're shite. We'll definitely beat them. Won't hammer them 4-5-0, but it'll be a 2-1, something like that. And then you're looking at Newcastle saying, Newcastle the wannabes and stuff, and all of a sudden, Bournemouth, Newcastle become, wow, I wouldn't say terrifying, but must-win games. Must-win games. But is our beloved club rotten to the core? But is our club rotten to the core with FSG? I've been a supporter of FSG. I think you all know that. They've done some great things. I mean, around the ground, the new Annie Road stand, which will be up and running this time next year, gives another 7,000. All these deals they've done with Nike and Standard Chartered and Expedia and Dunkin' Donuts, whoever it is, bringing millions into the club. I think we're one of the top clubs in the States now, people watching us. We're way up there as a brand. The club level has just gone up and up and up every single year. We've won a league, we've won a Champions League, League Cup, FA Cup, Super Cup. We've won all them. We've been unlucky once or twice, it has to be said. We certainly should have had at least one more leagues. Should they have invested more? We knew the plan with FSG. They usually only spend what they make, but sometimes I think drastic moments need. I mean, we've seen what happened 2 years ago. We almost paid the price. I mean, if we would have went Europa League that year, that would have been an absolute disaster. You've got to be in the Champions League. You just got to be. Our wages are quite high. I think we're third or fourth in the league, quite high. So we do pay wages. So there's no problem there. We have re-signed a lot of players, given them long contracts, the likes of even Klopp himself. Another 4 years of Jurgen. Of course, we want them there for 10. Mo Salah, another 3 of Mo, huge money. Biggest deal ever in the history of Liverpool Football Club, of course. We've tied down all the top stars. Okay, we let Mane go, but Mane wanted to go himself. We couldn't keep a player that wants to go. Apparently, he told Klopp around Christmas time, I want to go. I think that pulled the trigger on Diaz in January and obviously pulled the trigger on Núñez. So, I can't give out that much, but do we need a midfielder? Do we need them to put their hand in the pocket in their checkbook now? Yes, I think we do. I think we do need them to spend. I'm not saying 120 million on Bellingham. I'm just saying someone in. I mean, a Núñez, Matthias Núñez, I think this guy is going to be brilliant for Wolves. I think if you've seen him, he almost got a beautiful header the other day. Someone like that, 30, 40 million pound player to come in. We'll probably end up buying Núñez next year off Wolves for about 80 million. Wait, let's see. Watch this space, but I think we need a midfielder, and I think we need to open the piggy bank. Glasgow Red, John is in. Big up, Dave. Hope you're well. Well, I'm well. I'm grand. I mean, of course, health is your wealth and stuff like that, but I'm just trying to pick the bones of Liverpool last night. To be honest, Liverpool's last 3 games, even the pre-season was mixed. The pre-season was mixed, to be fair. I mean, that 4-0 Bangkok Cup, wasn't quite right. I know we weren't up to speed and stuff like that, but there was one or two signs in pre-season that I was a little bit worried about. And then it all comes into the draw of Fulham, the draw against Palace, and of course the shambolic display against United last night. Dave, will Nunes goals get Liverpool up the table? Says Gary, we got to get him on the pitch, baby. We got to get him on the pitch. Yeah, look, I mean, Nunes would have caused United problems last night. He probably would have played Maguire instead of Martinez if Nunes played last night. That would have been a problem for them. I think the biggest thing United did last night was not to play Maguire and not to play Ronaldo. That was the biggest thing they did get right last night. Look, I'm not writing Liverpool off. The league might be tight even now to get, but this team, we've seen them come and come and come. Maybe 2 or 3 players need rests. The problem is we haven't got the players on the bench to give them rests. Okay, Robbo definitely should rest the weekend. Simicas should come in. I'd start Carvalho. I definitely would start Carvalho. But I mean, we're tight there. We're really tight there. In a game, we need points. We need points against Bournemouth the weekend. So hands tied a little bit in Klopp. A little bit. All those redevelopments were paid for by bank loans. We are worth more than United at the moment. Brought in a record amount of TV money last season. 260 million. Stop defending them, says Quick D. Look, I am just telling you what they've done over the last... I've followed Liverpool since the 80s. I've seen the good times in the 80s. I've seen some bad times in the 90s. Bad times in the 90s under Hicks and Gillette. They've come in. They've done a good job. Should they spend more? Should they buy a midfielder? Absolutely. Possibly even 2. Absolutely. They know the trick. Michael Edwards is gone now, but Julian Ward is there. They're not silly. I know Tuchemeni, they wanted him. He went to Madrid. So we know they were looking at midfielders. They know they want a specific type of midfielder. But sometimes you just got to gamble, I think. And FSG and the transfer committee are not good at gambling. We know that. So that is the only thing I would think that no one would come in. But I think just the injuries have caught up on us. I really do think. I mean, Ox is out till October. Naby, who knows? Who knows? He keeps playing Monopoly. Could be out till Christmas. I mean, there's niggles all over the squad. Thiago, even when he comes back, how long will he stay before he gets injured again? Matip, we know. We were lucky last year with Matip. Things like that. So definitely need 1, possibly 2 in the next week. Not defending. I'm just telling you straight facts. That's the way it is. I'm not defending him. That's the way it is. We know that's the way it is. That team lost another Champions League final and lose to City again by 1 point. They are mentally and physically drained. We needed freshened up. This will be a disaster. I wouldn't go that far now. I wouldn't go that far. Let's get the players back and judge when we have a full squad. But when that'll be, I don't know. I think there's an international break coming up in 2 weeks, so maybe that'll help us. But major point is we can talk till we are blue in the face, but players need a major kick up the arse, and FSG have to get their checkbook out, says Helen. Yes, absolutely. Robotic Jaguar. Nunes would have done nothing. Martinez of Varane would have annoyed Nunes to the point he would have lost it more than he did in Anderson. It would have been an aerial threat, though. I mean, Martinez likes the ball on the ground. There was nobody jumping up in the air with Martinez there. Aerial threat against him. We seen what Ivan Toney did. Ruffled him, So, no, I think a big man there definitely would have gave him a problem. Because, he's good on the ground, That's what he does. He's good on the ground, ruffle tubbling, the South America. He's an Argentinian, that type of play. Maybe both of them would have got sent off. Gary says, one thinks Liverpool will bring a midfielder in. One thinks, well, hopefully, Gary. I don't think Dave is defending them. I think he's just trying to say what they have done. Yeah, exactly, John. We know what they've done. Everybody's know what they've done, but I think a lot of people forget what they've done. When things go bad, it's what have they done? Look where we are. We'll be okay. It's just the bloody injuries are killing us now. Do we need a midfielder? Yes. Maybe we're actively looking for one now. I know Klopp wants one. Gotta back the manager. I think we do need a right back. Maybe give the kid a shot. Ramsey has a niggle of an injury. That's the problem. He didn't even have a pre-season. We signed him from Aberdeen with a niggle. I know that's another day's work, but he still has some sort of a niggle there. He's not fit. Ramsey's not fit. If Ramsey was fit, he would have got his chance by now. That's the problem. Another point being having fans on board from the SOS, etc. must make a difference. Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. They're involved, and we shall see what happens. That is a big step forward, of course, huge step forward. Absolutely. Absolutely huge step forward. Let's see what comes of it. Maybe they'll meet this week. Maybe we'll get a signing. Liverpool has the summer to sort this shit out. Nunes, yes. Carvalho, no. That was a cheap signing. Well, Carvalho, I think, was sort of done January, if you know what I mean. The Ramsey one, it was another one. I did a video last year on Ramsey and Carvalho, so they were already in the offing. The Nunes one, of course, was the big deal, but we let Origi, Taki go. Mane left, so they're all sort of forward players. But even an attacking midfielder would have been nice. I presume you were thinking Carvalho was that type of player, or maybe a holding midfielder as well would have been really nice. But look, there's players out there. We have money. We do have money. We're not broke. Let's see what happens. Robotic Jaguar Ramsey is out. Exactly, he's injured. Crick D, I'm following them since the 80s too. Bobby and Naby can sign for any team for free in 4 months. That's another 2 players that possibly need replacing next summer, along with Milner. Well, yeah, Milner probably be on the bloody staff next. I mean, he was given an extra year. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. Even having Milner around is very good, but to ask him to start in big games is a little bit much, I think. I mean, Bobby too. Bobby's a 20-minute man, 20, 25 to bring on. He's certainly not a starter. So there's 2 players, Bobby and Milner, asked to play when probably shouldn't be playing. Jesus, this is like when you said so many injuries and Klopp cried every 2 minutes. Look, we've 11. I think it's 11 out injured at the moment. I don't know if any team can cope with. But let's see who really was missing last night out of a starting 11. I'd say Matip ahead of Gomez all day long. I'd say Thiago in midfield all day long. And I'd say Nunes, which was his own fault, of course, 3-match ban, being silly, all day long. Jota on the bench is just, huge. So there's 4 players you would say. The likes of Ox is always injured. The likes of Naby will always let you down. These players, Kanate, another silly injury, Strasbourg, a non-event game, getting injured, would have been nice to have on the bench. But 3-4 players, yes, huge difference. But worryingly for me, it's not only the injuries, and we said this at the start of the show, it's not all about the injuries. That's a big part of it. It's tiredness, it's confidence, it's press, non-press, and just confidence is big as well. No energy. The energy is sucked out of them. And Liverpool's built on press. And we don't have the press, especially at the front, the midfield. We don't have a lot, really, do we? So that's the problem. Dave, you was born late 90s, you handsome sod. You wouldn't have been following them the 80s. Born in 73, baby. Nearly 50 next year. I know I don't look a bit like Milner, but 50 next year, no. Look, I don't know. I'm just coming on here to try vent something. We've always done our business quickly. That's why I can't see transfers happening with 8 days to go. I think we could be forced into it, emergency forced into it. I'm not expecting a big £100 million player, though. It's more of a 10, 20 million pound stopgap type player, but I think we might need more than that. But who knows? I don't know. I'm not involved with the first team staff. I'm not a top red involved with Liverpool. So I don't know. I'm a fan like you guys. That's why I'm on live trying to give my comments. I'm not defending FSG. I'm just telling you what they've done. They've been very good for the club. Should they put their hand in their pocket? Yes, absolutely. They should put their hand in their pocket. Do we need a midfielder? Possibly even 2. An attacking and a holding midfielder. Yes, we do. Will they do it? Maybe. Maybe you will. I don't know. Let's hope they do. And maybe it'll be a different conversation next week. I don't know. It'll be a conversation either way if they do or don't. It'll either be great, they did some business there, we needed it, or FSG out will be all over the place if they don't do anything when the window closes next week. Eamon Kelly, Klopp said he's happy with his midfield. Didn't foresee the injuries. He looked like he knew he's in deep shit in the post-presser. Yeah. He did not look happy at all. He actually said he was worried, which was a worrying situation, which is you don't hear Klopp say. He did mention it when we had all those injuries in defence 2 years ago, but for Klopp to say that, and even his thing he said last week about I don't control the money, was it a hint at FSG to open the purse strings? I think it was. I've never heard of him say, he even said it yesterday or today, was it? Mentioning about, well, we have money, but I don't spend it, or, I'll tell them who I want, but I don't actually write the checks, basically, is what he's saying. And it's true, he doesn't, but you have to think if Jurgen Klopp rings Mike Gordon or Julian Ward or John Henry tonight or last night and goes, listen, guys, we need a midfielder. We need to put our, you have to think FSG will go, okay, much do you want? How, what do you want? Whether they sign the check or not is another thing, but you have to think they have to back Klopp. Surely him signing a 4-year extension or 2-year extension to the 2 years till 2026. He's had chats with FSG, surely saying, listen, if I want players, are you going to put your hand in your pocket? I mean, he wouldn't have signed the extension if they would have said no, would they? I don't know. I mean, Klopp speaks his mind, I'm hoping they sell, but I think there will be a lot of heated conversation between now and January over FSG. It's already hit the bleeding Twitter shit fan yesterday, for fuck's sake. Unbelievable stuff yesterday. Are we going to find ourselves right back where we started with almost going out of business with Hicks and Gillette Cast thinking they were sheiks? No, we're in a better position now. We really are. The foundations are much better. We're bringing in money all over the shop, and a lot of people say, well, okay, we'll spend the fucking thing. Yes, absolutely, spend it. We need a midfielder. Get one in. You have a weeks. I'd say it's a long time in football, but as I said earlier, the premium has just gone up on midfielders. It's Liverpool knocking on the door on the phone. We like him. He's worth about 30 million. He's 50 if you want him. You know what I mean? We know you want midfielders. We put a premium on them. You want them. It's going to be more money, baby. That's the problem we're going to have in the next week. Whether FSG will do that is another thing. There's a lot of frees out there. I've seen a few frees. I don't know what these know. There's a few free players, but they're in their early 30s. Decent internationals will give you something. But I'd be mad if you got your man De Jong from Barcelona. That would be really nice, but I don't know whether we're even in for him, but I'm just saying something like that would be a real, coup, as they used to call it in the old-fashioned days. Gary says, at this rate, Linda will have to sell her frock to sign players. Linda Paluzzi. Look, I know, I'm sure they look at Linda Paluzzi in particular, does be on Twitter. Rebecca Tavares does be on, who's Fabinho's wife. They do all day. I'm sure they'd be talking to their husbands going, Twitter's meltdown, baby. John Henry or Mike Gordon, whoever, we got to do something. They do listen. And as we know, fans are now on the board of Liverpool, which is great. So let's see. Let's see now. This is a big test, I think, for Klopp. Huge test for Klopp, but also a test for FSG in the next 7 days, 8 days, whatever it is, when the window closes. We know what we have to do. We know what we want. Question is, will we get it? Will we get it? Klopp is almost 7 years in a job, as Ula said. Stay put. She loves LFC like Klopp, but does FSG don't back him? I can see him walking. His head, so I can see him walking. Look, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Yavi would be a great sign. That young lad from Barcelona, can't see it. I thought he signed an extension, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Crick D only announced yesterday we are a richer club than United. Bringing in money at Liverpool is guaranteed cash cow, like a donut shop in Amsterdam, says Crick D. Wow. Yeah. Daz O'Connor is in the house. Liverpool Connection podcast. Check that out on YouTube. Another top Liverpool YouTube channel. Daz, you can pop in if you want, or if you're drunk, probably better staying away. But you can pop in if you want. I'll send you a link. Yeah, look, you'll be drunk for a while. You'll be drunk for a while because we're a few weeks away. As I say, we've at least, was it 2 more games before the international break? Is it Bournemouth the weekend, then Newcastle? That international break will probably come at the right time for us. It'll give us a week or so, or 10 days. so we can recap and just hope to get the likes of Jota and a few players back. But, you know, we shall see what happens. But Daz, if you want, give me a thumbs up and you can pop in. If not, no panic. We can go again. Big up, Daz, mate. Hope you're well, says John. Cedric Lopez in the house. Cedric, how are you? Hit the like, guys. Hit the share. The more likes we get, the more people come in. The longer we stay on. We give it the hour. What are we, 45 in? We definitely give it the hour. Conor Gallagher would be sound. He never stops running, but he's back at Chelsea now. So I don't think Chelsea would sell him to Liverpool, but or even loan him to Liverpool. You know, they're not going to be that charitable to a team that is going to be fighting for top four with them. So, you know, no, I think we're going to have to dip into either the Portuguese or maybe German market. I think something like that. Maybe even the Championship. I don't know. Sanderberg of Sheffield United's been touted in the last 2-3 weeks. I know we've been interested in him in a long time, but I mean, I think we need a bit more than that. Doug Football Channel is in. You can pop in, Doug, if you want. Give me a thumbs up. I'll send you a link if you want to pop in for the last 15. Doug, give me your thoughts on last night's shambolic crap, really. Eamon Kelly, 10 years as Liverpool manager is enough for any man, says Eamon. Yeah. Well, no. I mean, what are we, 7 years in? He's another 4, 10, 11 years. Maybe. But we just got to deal with the here and now, guys. The here and now is we have 2 points from a possible 9. Doug is going to pop in. I'm going to send him a link. Doug from the Dugout Football Channel. Send it to your Twitter DM now, Doug, if you want to pop in. I'm sure you have something nice to say about Liverpool at the moment. I'm sure you do, because shambolic and a bit worrying, to be fair. A bit worrying. Because we don't know the full extent of injuries, the likes of Jota, the likes of Naby, the likes of Thiago. We don't know when they will be back. So Doug is going to pop in now in a few minutes. Let's see what Doug says about last night and generally about the situation, I suppose. Daz, as I said, you can pop in if you want. I'll send the link. Don't panic if you don't. Stay on for another 15 or so. But Doug from the Dugout Football Channel is going to pop in any minute. Hit the like, guys. Hit the share. 5,100 subs at the moment. So banging them in. Doug is here in the green room. Let's talk Liverpool. Let's talk shambolicness. Doug, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Well, to be fair, look, I'm not writing our team off. You know, we are a top team. I think we're just tired. I really do think we're tired, Doug. I think we're devoid of... When you're tired, you're devoid of confidence and you're devoid of ideas, and you certainly don't have the press, which we're famed for, which we cannot do because we're bloody tired. I think it was a mistake having that pre-season in the Far East. I really do. After 63-match season, which we've never done in our history, we were out on our feet in that Champions League. We were out on our feet in that... We could have had sleeping bags on the sidelines of that Champions League. We were tired in the last 10 in that game when we needed a goal. You couldn't really see one coming. And in the pre-season, you seen the pre-season itself, it was mixed. It was a mixed pre-season. I know it doesn't really matter, but I've seen signs in that pre-season just had me in the back of my mind going, this is going to be not maybe as a fast start as we all wanted. And then Fulham came along. Then Palace came along. And then that shit show came along last night, which was the worst of all. And one team you don't want to lose against. One team. Never mind Everton. Never mind City. It's United.
Yeah.
So
because
basically, Far East third, I don't think it helped us.
No, definitely not. And especially that last night was, well, it was just terrible. I think it's probably the worst game I've seen Virgil van Dijk play in a long, long time. Hello, John. Hope you're good. Cheating bastard. Yeah. Yeah, we were just terrible. Absolutely terrible. And yeah, I'm tired of Naby as well. Like, injured again. I mean, apparently it's a serious injury. I
don't know what happened here. I don't think this was a training ground. What I'm thinking is something happened to him at home. Maybe he was painting his fucking... I fell off a ladder or something, but it just doesn't seem... I mean, he didn't mention what the injury was, and there's something not right there, I think. I don't know what it is.
I think there's more to it. I think there's
Yeah.
definitely some truth behind the contract talks going a bit sour. I think from what I'm hearing, I think he wants a 4-year deal rather than a 3. I think it's something to do with that. But if I'm being honest, like I'm getting to the stage now where I'm like, do we cut our losses on Naby?
52 million. And the wages, I seen something today, I think it was Garrett Roberts put it up on Twitter that he's on big wages. You know, we
Hmm.
signed him. I was excited when we signed him for RB Leipzig. I mean, I used to watch a bit of German football. And I only really watched it for the very fact that he was playing for Leipzig that season we'd signed him, even though we weren't signing him. You know, we wasn't a Liverpool player till the following July. I watched a few
Yeah,
of the games for Leipzig. And in most of those games, he was getting man of the match displays. He was up and down the pitch. He was scoring goals. He was getting sent off. He was just
yeah,
all action. And I was going, this guy is going to be a fucking ready-made. I know the German league's different, but it's the way it's dynamism. I just thought was going to suit us. And to be fair, he did it in about 10 games where we
yeah.
seen the Naby. But
And the
he's just not
the thing is
available.
as
He's not
well.
available.
Yeah, the thing is as well. Like I saw something. I think it was actually Gareth Roberts actually put up there. Ox has scored more goals than Naby Keita has, and he's made more appearances. And
I mean, Ox is right up there with the two of them must play Monopoly together or something. I mean, I don't know what's going on. You know, well, like, it can't hurt yourself playing Monopoly, but Naby Keita would give it a good go. You know those little silver dogs that they weigh nothing, but if one of them falls on Naby's toe, or the little
yeah,
hats, you know, hat Monopoly, it's out for a week. I mean,
yeah, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, last night we just never got going, and that's 7 out of the last 8 games now we've conceded the first goal. And I'm looking at this Bournemouth game, and it is a banana skin. And Scott Parker was actually the last time he was at Anfield, he actually beat us.
I know. Look, people are saying, I seen the thing on Twitter, oh, let's go, we got to beat them 3-0. I'll take 1-0 now. I'll take any type of a bleeding win now. We just need the 3 points. I don't care about the result or the performance even. It's the win. But the problem is, I mean, Anfield the weekend, the crowd has got to get behind the team, man. If they ever needed a crowd to get behind the team, it's this weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
Newcastle will be a tricky one after it. That'll be even trickier.
Oh, yeah.
So if we don't beat Bournemouth going into that Newcastle game, I mean, we're good enough to beat Bournemouth. Let's be real. Let's not hang around the bush. But
Yeah.
we've got to show heart. We've got to show press, energy. But energy isn't an easy thing. I mean, you can have all the skill, all the technique, but to have confidence is another thing that's hard to get in players when you lose it. It doesn't come back in a flick of a bloody switch or by reading the intensity book by Pep Linders. It just doesn't come back that quick. It usually is. It's a build-up or it's a goal or you do something in the crowd. You know, you put a tackle in. Something like that is usually where it's an organic thing. It's not something you can even learn.
I know. It'd be interesting to see what midfield he goes with on Saturday. Because I think Fabinho comes straight back in.
What team? Let's forget about the United team now. I don't even want to talk about it again because it's gone. There's nothing we can do about it. We got all our attention. I don't even think we'll be on the United game. I think it's on the Bournemouth game now. I'd say he sat them down today. There was a hairdryer in the corner. There's a hairdryer in the corner, and he was looking at that hairdryer. But actually, even worse than that, I don't even think Klopp in his post-match last night didn't. The sad thing for me was didn't look angry. Actually looked deflated, which is even worse. If you look angry, it looks like you're going to be, you're going to rock and roll tomorrow and train or whatever. But he probably sees the shit coming down the line and probably knows the likes of the Naby injury, which you just said there, looks like it's worse. Like it's not a week or two. It could be a fucking month or two. Ox is a month or two. Maybe the Jota injury's a little longer. Maybe the Thiago injury's a little longer. Maybe he knows he's not going to get a check from FSG and he's probably saying, how are we going to get out of this?
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm worried about.
I think the only thing we can take away from the United game is actually Mo Salah has become the highest ever scoring Liverpool player against Manchester United. 10 goals. It's absolutely amazing.
He didn't do much last night. I know we got a goal, but he's our talisman. I mean, he's a great record against United. It was good to see that keep going. it took a little bit of, rather than beating us 2-0 and 2-1, it's a bit more, I did say 2-1, but I said 2-1 to Liverpool, not 2-1 to fucking United. I knew it'd be a close game. I just did.
Yeah.
They didn't walk out. The fans didn't walk out. I'm very, very surprised. I guarantee you, if Liverpool would have been leading that game or won that game, they would have walked out.
Yeah, they would have done. Yeah, definitely. But
flip-flop fans, they should all wear those flip-flops your man wore at Anfield with the bleeding crest. That's what they should be wearing. They're flip-flop fans. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But
not all of them, but a vast majority.
But going on to the Bournemouth game, wow. I mean, I'd like to see Robertson rested. Yeah, I think Robertson is one of those ones.
He's got to start.
I think Tsimikas needs to start for me. So I'd go Ali, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Tsimikas. Then I'd go Fabinho. You know what? I think it's time to start Carvalho. I really do. I think it's time for
Carvalho more forward though. Or would you maybe play Elliott more forward and start Carvalho behind Fabinho and Hendo?
That's a good thinking, because I think Salah will probably be the first forward. I think what's going to happen, he'll probably go into the forward position. I don't see Firmino starting after last night. I think this time of starting games, I think, is kind of over for us. So I'd go Fabinho. I think, do we start Henderson or not? That's a tricky. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to see Milner start again, because he shouldn't be starting. He shouldn't be starting 4 games in a row. Anyway, and then obviously we've got Newcastle on top of that. So 5 games in a row for James Milner is unheard of. But I think what's going to happen, I think we'll play Carvalho and Elliott in the midfield with Fabinho, because I think we are definitely needing some stability. I think that the problem the other night was that Jordan Henderson wasn't on the right hand side, giving that Trent cover. So I think as well is I think we definitely need somebody on that right hand side to give us that. So I think it'll be Carvalho and Elliott in the midfield with Fabinho, and then I think it'll be Diaz, Salah.
We're running out of options up front.
We are running out of options.
Would you play Bobby again? I mean, he really was poor. I think Bobby's more of a 20-minute man. He's certainly not. I think so. But what can we do, Doug? I mean, we fuck all options.
Yeah, we've not got many options. Okay, I would say Fabinho, Henderson, Carvalho, and then Elliott, Salah, Diaz. That would be I do.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at the bench last night and I was worried. When I seen that midfield, I did put a thing on Twitter saying Twitter meltdown incoming for that midfield. I just knew it. I mean, I think Fabinho, even though he's been playing poorly, you're away at Old Trafford. You play Milner. Unless he had a niggle or something, there was a reason to keep him on the bench. Fabinho, for me, has been poor, but I mean, Henderson's been poor as Fabinho.
He has.
So you could have dropped Henderson and played Fabinho. So I don't know what's going on there. And when Fabinho came on, he did okay. Carvalho was good when he came on, and Elliott was the only shining light, really. Diaz, in bits, but everybody else, other than maybe Alisson, I don't think he'd much chance with the 2 goals, really. Everybody else was absolutely. I mean, what I'm really worried about is the likes of Trent and Robbo, which this team is built on. This team is actually built on Trent and Robertson. Let's be real. Over the last 4 or 5 years, if those boys are not playing, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we certainly are. I mean, there was a lot said about Trent's defending last night, and he was walking back for that first goal. It's terrible defending. It's absolutely terrible.
What I'm more worried about Van Dijk. For the 3 games, he hasn't been dominant. Is that the word I should use?
Do you know what I said?
I think makes Van Dijk a better player, Doug. I think Van Dijk is a partnership.
Do you know what I actually said on? I think Jack and Connor and Spider were live earlier. Hello, Steve. Hope you're good. I think Virgil van Dijk is playing cautiously so he's not injured for the World Cup, because he did miss the Euros. Remember?
I hope not. I mean, it just seems to me like he's going through, like the old chopper in the 80s I used to have. You go through the gears, but you try not change the fucking gears. You know, the center thing, you probably remember seeing it. You go to the 4th, 2nd, 3rd gear, and it's getting stuck in 2nd gear. And you're just saying, oh, we leave it there. It should be good enough. But, you know, it's not good enough sometimes. Sometimes it is good enough. But I think when you've Gomez beside you, he's only coming back, really, Gomez. He'll need a few games to go up to speed. I think Matip really does complement Van Dijk. It really does. And gets Van Dijk out of some situations that you don't even see. With his bit of pace and his long legs. And that is a worry for me, Van Dijk, because we need a Van Dijk in front of Alisson and in front of that back four. Sorry, in front of that midfield three.
Yeah.
That is back to his, you know, his even 80% of his best, because even an 80% Van Dijk is you know, but he's not quite there at the moment, and I'm a bit worried about Van Dijk, I have to say. Statman Stubbs, you can pop in and give us your twopence bits if you want. Give me a thumbs up and I'll send you the link. So I mean, Ramsey being injured, Scottish, this Aberdeen young lad, he had a niggle apparently coming from Aberdeen. They spotted something, but they still signed him.
Yeah.
And we can't really rest Trent. Okay, you could probably play Gomez there if you really had to, but we've no centre halves to fucking play beside Van Dijk. But
no,
Tsimikas, I think you could probably even say should have played last night. Never mind the weekend.
Yeah, the problem with Robertson is he is absolutely knackered because he over the summer played the 2 qualifiers for Scotland in the dreaded Nations League. Why are you playing bloody Nations League over the summer? I mean, come on. I mean, it was like in June. Like, this is the thing with this World Cup coming up as well. The players are going to be actually tired. They're going to be knackered as well. But Robertson is a victim of this because he is actually playing. He's a Scotland captain.
Yeah, he played games for Scotland as well. He needs a rest. Yeah. He needs to be taken out, possibly even the next 2 league games. Bournemouth and Newcastle. I mean, Tsimikas is decent. I mean, it's not as if you're really going down lower level. I mean, Robertson, when he's at his top level, you play Robertson. But at the moment, he's not. Yeah. He needs a rest. I mean, he needs a rest. He could get an injury, Doug. He's played so much. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm worried about. Not only does he need a rest, but I'm sure he's at breaking point. In ligaments and stuff like that.
I think there was something going across. I think someone tweeted it the other day, and that I think Robbo and Trent were like in the very red zone of like games played. That is a worry for me. Oh. That's a big worry for me.
Sonia is in the house. Sonia, our benches are a problem. We need 300 million at least. Nobody fears our bench. Yeah, but look, when everybody's fit, if they're fit, when they're fit, we have quite a decent squad. I mean, I'm sure you were looking forward to the new season when everyone was fit pre-Fulham. I mean, you know, all of a sudden 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 injuries. It's bare. Of course it is. If you did that to City, they'd be bare. If you did that to United, Chelsea, Spurs, they would be bare. But we've known there's 4 or 5 players that you can't really rely on. There's Ox, there's Matip, there's Naby, there's even Thiago. We know his history. You know that way?
Yeah.
Jota's got a few. Even Curtis Jones and Gomez have been getting them.
Yeah.
So it's on FSG. It's on Mike Gordon. It's on Julian Ward. I'm sure it's on Klopp. I'm sure Klopp wants a midfield. I'm actually surprised at some of Klopp's comments the last few days. I really am. I've never seen him so outspoken about wanting a player. I don't sign the money. I don't sign the checks. I don't do this. Basically, it's FSG's problem, not mine. You know, I'd like players. You know, all managers want players. I think he's sending something out. I've never seen him. And even yet last night after the game saying he's a little worried. I just have never seen Klopp. Even when we were going through bad times in 2020, 21, when we loads of injuries and somehow we got third and got top 4. I don't think he even spoke like that. It's a bit of a niggle, or there's something going on in the background, I think.
I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried it's getting towards the stage of 14-15 Dortmund vibes, where I think he walked away at the end of the season. I think he just had enough. And yeah, just last night, I wasn't so angry about the result. It was just the lack of effort,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lack of
Listen, you
desire.
can lose at
Like,
Old Trafford. You can lose 2-1 to fucking anybody,
yeah,
But to put in a performance and lose at the same time against your fiercest fan rivals anyway,
yeah,
is not. Look, if United would have played absolutely shite like we did last night and lost that game, they would have had their yellow and green flags all over the shop.
yeah.
There would have been trouble. There was a bit of trouble before the game, throwing bottles of buses and stuff, but it would have been 10 times worse.
Mm.
But at least they showed heart. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to give them something. I mean, they were under pressure last night as well, Doug. They were under big,
I
big
I
pressure.
think I think as well. Ten Hag made some very good changes yesterday, bringing out Shaw, Maguire. Obviously for Varane, Varane was very very good. Last night, Malacia was very very good. I mean, people criticised Martinez. He was pretty good, and then obviously Eriksen in the midfield. He's a very experienced character. Elanga came in. Rashford is up
But
front
it
on
was
his
a
own.
youthful, energized team. I think the biggest
Hmm.
thing he did was not play Ronaldo and not play Maguire. I think they were the two big fucking decisions that he actually got right.
Definitely, definitely. Still question marks over De Gea. Definitely.
Yeah.
But but to be honest, like I'm just glad we're out of there, and obviously we can get them back, and obviously February, March time whenever they're at Anfield. But yeah, the weekend ahead, we just have to win and win by anything. If it goes off someone's backside into the back of the net, I won't care. As long as we win the game is the main thing.
Yeah. I think it's important. It's another game where it's another game. If you can get a win, it's another game out of the way when you're hoping to get bleeding Darwin Nunes back as well. That type of way.
Mm.
Because he won't be back for the next game. He missed the Newcastle game, won't he? But
Yeah, he misses Newcastle, and then he's right back in the firing line at Goodison Park.
yeah, but we'll need him. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
Hoping
yeah.
we'll have Thiago and Jota back for that too. It could be a totally different fucking. But as you say, wins, goals give you confidence. If we were to turn up against, which we still could, turn up against Bournemouth and win 2-3-4-0, players like, Diaz gets a goal, Salah gets one or two, maybe even Young Carvalho gets a goal. Things shift all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's amazing what a win can do. That's the thing about football. That is the amazing thing about football. I mean, even United, doldrums City, Casemiro walking onto the pitch before it. That'll give them something in midfield, I'm sure. Maybe someone else like Anthony or someone else coming in. They lost two really badly games. I mean, Brighton deserved it. Brentford absolutely deserved it. So they were coming into this game thinking, I don't think any of the United fans were thinking they were going to beat Liverpool, even though Liverpool were weak. I think they got Liverpool at the right time, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. But
It's
we'll
not
obviously
good.
move on.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not
No,
good.
it's not good. But we obviously move on to Saturday, and Bournemouth. They've had a bit of a steady start, really. I mean, they lost to City and Arsenal. They're not expected to win those games, but they beat Aston Villa, and I don't know about you, Dave, but I worry for Stevie G. The amount of money that Villa have actually
I'm right,
spent.
yeah. Stevie G and Lampard are the two big ones. And I suppose Rodgers, you have to throw Rodgers in there as well. There's
Yeah,
something else going on at Leicester in the background as well. I don't know what's going on there. But
yeah,
I mean, they're the three you would think any one of them three could be sacked in the bleeding morning with the way boards are now,
yeah. I know.
Needy is in from Menace in the Monk. How are you, Needy? Hopefully you're well, my friend. Hey, Dave, how are you doing? Just back from work. Watched the game till 3:30 here. Had a long day. I know one thing, we'll hit back. Look, eventually we'll be okay. I think we will be okay. I still think we'll get top four. I think it's going to be a stretch now to win the league. I really do. I mean, we will want City to. I think we'd have to beat City home and away. I think we'd have to. It's still, look, we can't throw in the towel just yet, 3 games in, but it's a bad start. We've given ourselves an uphill battle after 3 games, and that is not good. That is not a good sign to give yourself, a fucking uphill battle against this type of City team. We've seen it. It's 90 plus points. I was just looking at it there yesterday. We've 35 games left. We've 2 points. That means we basically would have to win possibly 30 games to get 92 what we got last year, and only be able to act the fiddle in 5. That's a big ask.
That's a huge ask.
That's a big ask. And the other thing, Doug, I don't know whether people are. I don't want to leave it on a bad note, but that's the first loss of the year in the league for Liverpool.
Yeah.
The first loss in 2022, and it Yesterday was the 22nd of August. I mean, how far have we come? Think about it. We've only lost one league game this year, and we're already 3/4 of the way through. Well, 2/3, and Twitter meltdown city. I mean, the levels we have to, that's the problem. I mean, Klopp and his team have gone to so high a level that even draws are no use anymore. Never mind defeats. But as you said, I think it was the performance that was a bigger issue. I think it was the non-performance, was the bigger issue. The heart, the effort, let's say, was the bigger issue than probably the result.
Oh, definitely was. And just the lack of effort and desire in that game was just very, very disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay on much longer. I think Steve Stubbs is going live in a few minutes. You just want to pop over to Statman Stubbs' channel. Needy, I know the talk about the midfield, and while I do agree with it, big miss for us this as being Kanate. Matip's huge. I've said it so many times. Never mind Kanate. It'd be nice to have on the bench, but Matip Van Dijk is, for this time being, that is Kanate maybe in the future, but Matip just gives something to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk gives something to Matip, and then that just exudes through the fullbacks. They maybe are afraid to go forward as well now because of the likes of Van Dijk's not at 100% and Gomez isn't, and we feed off the fullbacks, and if the fullbacks aren't going forward, we're basically toothless. We are toothless.
Yeah, they are.
We're walking into the dentistry with no teeth. You know what I mean? And we're good.
Yeah.
So, But Cedric Lopez, I think Saturday proves City can be beaten, but if they get a goal back, look, we're not throwing towels in. I don't throw towels in, especially with this team, with this manager.
No, definitely not.
I think it's a big week for FSG, and I think it's a big week for Klopp. I think is someone going to come in? I still have my doubts someone's going to come in.
I still have my doubts as well.
I hope for Klopp's sake, because I know we want somebody, and maybe for eventually the team's sake, somebody does come in midfield, possibly. But I still have my doubts whether they'll open up their checkbook.
Yeah, I've got my doubts as well.
United is 2 men on Salah and Diaz. Yeah, but that was good play from United. Weak midfield, Hendo Millie. Teams have worked us out. Need to be solid, strong midfield. I think Thiago was a huge miss last night. We no one that could pass the ball, or slow down the tempo, or speed up the tempo. We were basically in a car last night with no clutch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you can't drive a car without a clutch, basically, So
no, you cannot drive a car without a clutch.
The Flintstone cars where they're using their feet. That's what we were like. Oh, fucking unbelievable, There you go, Gary. The lack of fight was an eye opener. The absolute Del Boy Gunner is happy. This guy's going to be happy because he's 3 out of 3. He's top of the league. Big question for Del Boy. Will he stay there? I don't think so. But 3 out of 3, you can't say much more than that. Dave and Doug, what's that bleeding story? The bleeding story is intensity. The book, did you read it? That's the story. Because Liverpool players haven't. Gary seems to think someone will come in. Look, I just hope for everybody's sake, for our sake, for FSG's face sake and stuff like that. But I just think it's getting late. And problem is now, I said it earlier in the stream, Doug, if you start buying someone out with a week to go on the window, you're buying off a club, the selling club, know you want that player and you're sort of in panic mode or you're in desperation mode. There's going to be a premium on that player straight away. You want him? Well, he's 10 million, but he's 15 to you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem Liverpool are going to get, so can't keep pulling rabbits out of hats. Well,
no.
Let's hope he's at least one more rabbit left. Let's hope he's at least one. We're winning the league. Arteta in, Del Boy. I can tell you here now, you ain't winning the league, but you could get top 4. And I think top 4 would be a really good season for Arsenal. Don't go ahead of yourself, my friend. I mean, I've seen teams trying to do it. Relax. It's early. Just enjoy the ride. And let's see what happens. Because sometimes you can speak to. Look, I like Arsenal. Good to watch. They're a good watch. Arteta, I did say to Del Boy last season, a lot of people are saying get rid of him. Hold on to him. Keep the faith. They've invested well. I don't think they're the finished article yet. I still think they're maybe 2 players short. But they're building something nice there. Youth, bit of experience. Saliba looks good. I mean, up front, Jesus, will he be the saviour?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm a miracle worker or anything like that, but he'll score goals. I mean, he would score goals. I mean, I wouldn't even have minded him in the Liverpool team. I mean, he's a Brazilian international. He will score goals for them. But
Yeah.
let's see. I mean, still don't know. But what's your thoughts on Arsenal?
Yeah, Arsenal, I think they've had a very, very good start to the season, and I think Jesus is a very, very good signing, as well as Zinchenko. I think
Yeah.
something's clicked there, and I think Arsenal will. I think can see being 4 from 4 the weekend. I think they got Fulham at the Emirates, so they should be looking to win that game.
Yeah, I think Fulham have gone backwards since they beat us. But what's new there? They played well today. We were just so bad. I think anybody would have beat us. They were so flat. Anybody would have beat us anyway. So I don't think I just happened to be Fulham. You know that way. Revenite FC. I'm sorry, it's time. Klopp now is time to be ruthless. Enough waffling excuses to cut the midfield apart. Dig into the purse. That FSG don't want to touch and buy 3 midfielders and another 4. 3 midfielders and another 4. I'd be happy if we get one more in. Let's be real, guys.
I'd be happy if we just even get one in.
Let's be realistic. Arsenal are on the FFP watch list.
I saw that.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Chelsea look like, I mean, they're a bit all over the shop at the moment, but looks like they might get a Aubameyang. He'll get goals from them. They do need a forward, you know. They'll get better again. They will. They will get better. They've got a decent squad. Sonia, we're just not ready. We need time to click and get our players fit again, and we will be okay. Look, I'll watch over this video again maybe in a month or two and go, well, you know, didn't need to worry. But in this moment of time, in this reality, at 8:47 on the 23rd of the 8th, with a week left in the window, a lot of players injured, 2 points out of 9. There's a little worry there, but I think ultimately, long term, I think we'll be okay, Doug.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Yeah.
It's a nice way to leave the stream, isn't it? I think we'll go. Doug Football Channel, check him out. Link will be in description. What are you doing the week? I've sort of a lot of build-up shows and a bit of stuff happening on your channel.
Yeah, I've got the Bournemouth preview tomorrow. I've got that tomorrow at 6, and then on Thursday I'm streaming the Champions League group stage draw.
Big draw. We didn't mention that, but look, obviously, I think we're in pot 2.
We're in pot 2. Yeah, so
I don't know how they worked that one out, but I mean, this coefficient bullshit. How we're not in pot 1 after being in 3 Champions finals in 5 years is beyond me.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I look at like, let me see if I can actually get this. Yeah, like I'm looking at like pot 1, so we could get.
And you get it up on the thing, and I'll pop it up. Can you put it up on the share link?
No, sorry, I've just going. So pot 1, we've got Real Madrid, Eintracht Frankfurt, Man City. Well, we can't get Man City. AC Milan, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, FC Porto, and Ajax.
Porto again, please. Porto again.
Yeah,
my
that would
favorite.
be lovely. That would be lovely. Ajax as well. I wouldn't mind Ajax. Liverpool, Chelsea, Barcelona, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, Leipzig, and Tottenham. So that's obviously pot 2.
That's really stronger than the bleeding first group.
I know.
Pretty is, yeah.
And then pot 3, Borussia Dortmund, Red Bull Salzburg, Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan, Napoli, Sporting Lisbon, Bayer Leverkusen, and Marseille. And then there's only 2 in pot 4 at the moment, because obviously there is Champions League happening tonight. Club Brugge and Celtic.
I'd like Celtic, actually. That'd be a nice sort of setup, wouldn't it? But I'd like Leverkusen and I'd like Porto. I mean,
that would be lovely.
You want it as easy as possible. You want to get out of there and then concentrate on the league. And I did say something earlier just before you go, Doug. I think Klopp would take a back step on the domestic cups this season. I think the League Cup, we've won the League Cup, we've won the FA Cup. We know what he did in previous seasons where he's just concentrated on the league and the Champions League. I just don't think we've got the personnel to go all out again.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Well, there's Doug's channel in the description, guys. I'll put it down in the main description as well. It's been fun. 1 hour and 20 minutes in. I was only meant to do 20, but that always happens. We'll be okay in the end. We will be okay. You'll never walk alone. Get behind the team. Got to beat Bournemouth on Saturday. Get behind Klopp. FSG. Open the checkbook. Talk soon. Cheers.